Good afternoon, guys. Junk Guys DFW. It's Ricardo, your neighborhood junk removal service. I'm on a train, so today is a training tip because I'm on a train going from Dallas to Fort Worth to my house in Fort Worth. Let's talk about knowing when to cut ties with other businesses, knowing when to cut ties with real estate agents, landlords, dumpster companies, just people, even some customers that don't pay on time. So it's happened to me a couple of times, and that's why I wanted to do this video. It's just talking about when to exactly know when this deal isn't working for y'all. So I'm going to give you two suggestions, and I'm going to tell you how I fix these suggestions, okay? Well, tell you how I fix these problems that I had. I had a deal in Fort Worth, Texas about 4 years ago where it was an apartment complex, and every one time a month I went by and I picked up all their trash, okay? So one time a month I picked up all their bulk trash, and they paid me $300. The problem was that I would get there and it would fill up my trailer and it would fill up my truck. I mean, these people would go all out. There was always construction material, there was always boxes, and during Christmas time, don't get me wrong, guys, this place was a complete dump. They were filling up their 8-yard dumpster and overflowing it, and then I had to pick up all this stuff, and then I even had to go and pick up individual to like 8 different locations in this apartment complex. Doing it for about 3 years, I started realizing that it wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it to me. The drive was about 40 minutes. I was getting there, and the numbers just didn't add up. For $300, they were filling up my truck and my trailer. I can easily get almost $1,000 for my truck and trailer, and I was doing it for $300. But then I started realizing, why was I doing it? Why was I doing it? First of all, they were a loyal customers of mine. They were one of the first contracts that I ever got in junk removal. They were one of the first people who gave me a chance to make money, and that's why I stayed loyal to them for so many years. It came to a point where I started realizing that the $300 wasn't just doing it for me, okay? This contract job was not doing it for me, and I decided to go to the owner and I said, hey, do you mind if we talk? And she was really busy at the time, I remember. I said, do you mind if I get your email? And she was like, yeah, no problem, come back another day. And I was like, you know what? I sent him an email and I told him, listen, if I had to do this job, it would be at least $500 a month. Of course, they declined it, and we stopped doing business. But I put that offer out there. Here's the thing about it, guys. I just told them the numbers wasn't there, and she said she'll get someone local. I was in Dallas at the time, so I was driving from Dallas all the way to Fort Worth for $300 one time a month, and it just wasn't good for me. That is one instance that it just didn't work out right for me, okay, guys? Here's another one. I was doing contracts for a dumpster company, and I was subcontracting. Every time I got busy, I was subcontracting another dumpster, and I would tell them, hey, get there on Wednesday, and the guy wouldn't drop a dumpster, and the customer would be bothering me all day. Hey, he didn't drop. I'd call him, hey, dude, you know, the dumpster that you dropped for $300, I was selling it for $350. I was only making $50 off it. This dude was always late. He was never on time. He couldn't do it on time. And, you know, it came to a point that one day I just stopped doing it. I stopped calling him. I started working with another guy, and this guy calls me out of the blue. He goes, hey, Richard, you know, you haven't done a dumpster in weeks. And I was like, brother, I'm going to tell you something. You were always late. You never were on time. You were dropping the dumpsters 2 days later on your own time. You know, on the weekends, you don't work on the weekends. And he was like, oh man, no, I'll do it. And I said, you know what, brother, if I get a chance, I'll use you again. But I never used the guy again. Breaking and cutting those ties with people was a relief to me, I'll be honest with you. Especially a dumpster guy. He was a nice guy. He was Mexican. I was trying to help him. He had just started up his business. But see, a hustler is a hustler. A hustler is going to go out there and really bust his ass and really do as much as he can to get his business running. And this guy just didn't work out right to me, you know. Right now, I have an apartment complex right now, and anyway, those are two suggestions. So let me give you a third suggestion. Let me tell you about the contracts I have right now. I go by once a month. I fill up about half my trailer of just cardboard boxes, and I do this in Frisco for the Avalon Apartments, and I go by there and all I do is pick up like a few mattresses. They always have 1 or 2 mattresses. I do this once a month. They're bulk stuff, and they fill up about half my trailer. I charge them $300 for that. I have another company that I go back by, and I go twice a month. I charge them $400, and oh my God, I'm gonna tell you, it is cake, okay? I charge them $400 a month. I go twice a month, and usually nothing's there. Every once in a while they'll call me about a desk or a mattress or something being there, and I pick it up, but I don't play around. Here's the deal about it. I go twice a month. If there's nothing there, I just drive off. But if they have a request, I charge them really, really cheap, like 50 bucks. If I go there and there has to be a treadmill, I just load it and I get the heck out of there. That is something, because I am always winning. So you have to take the good with the bad sometimes, you know what I mean? You have to take the good with the bad. Right now I have another apartment complex, and they're in Fort Worth. I always go there once a month. I charge them 400 bucks. And I'm gonna tell you, I go once a month on the 1st or the 2nd. When I go there, sometimes they have 2 mattresses. I charge them $400 for that. But there's been times I go there and oh gosh, dude, they fill up my whole trailer and the back of my truck, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is the worst. Bad deal for me. But you know what? I win 50-60% of the time, and I lose 50, so it's kind of often, you know what, I'll take that any day. It's better than losing 80% of the time like I was with those apartments 5 years ago in these in Fort Worth, you know what I mean? That's when I was losing constantly, and that is a bad investment. Know when to cut your ties, you know? I used to have a real estate agent. Here's another suggestion. Real estate agents, they never want to pay on time. They always want to pay 30 days later, you know what I mean? And here's the situation that happens on you. If you're going check to check, day by day, week to week, do not accept net terms. Net terms, let's talk about what net terms is. 30 net terms mean 30 days, I'll pay you. 15 net terms mean 15 days, and I will pay you. And this was what was happening. I was working for a real estate agent, and I was working for him, not the agency. And he would go, and he was trying to sell a house, and he'd always tell me, hey, Ricardo, go and clean up this house for me. I'd go, okay, dude. And then I'd say, hey, can you cash at me? Can you Zelle me? And he's like, no, I write checks out. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then after 30 days, I was chasing this guy down. Hey, bro, you forgot to mail me a check. And then he'd mail me the check. The problem was, I don't have to chase him down. One day he told me to go out here, and I said, you know what, dude, I'm just not going to go out there anymore. I need my money, you know, up front. If you're going to pay me now, you're going to pay me now. And he was like, well, you know, I'll have to find someone else. Go find someone else. See, guys, I walk away from jobs like this all the time. People are always telling me, do you take an American Express? Do you take credit? I don't take credit cards. Till this day, I still don't take credit cards. I think debit cards or a cash or check. Okay, that's all I'll take. If you want to do a credit card, you know, you're gonna have to go with someone else. And I let people walk all the time. I don't mind walking all the time. I will walk away, because you know what, right around the corner, there's another $1,000 job, there's another $5,000 job, there's another $400 job, and I'll take that job any day. I'll be stuck doing a job for somebody else and never get paid. Now, we're gonna talk about a real estate company that I love working with. This company works for US Homes DFW, and what they do is they send out these 2 guys. It's Matthew and April. Matthew and April, they go to these houses and they clean them up, but when there's an overflow of things, they call me. When they just can't handle it, they call me. So usually I will show up right after they've arrived and they've tried to clean it up. I show up and I tell them, listen, it's going to be $250. Usually they give me the codes, and I've done videos about them. I've done videos about the houses. They give me the code, and I go into the house, I code. Nobody's ever there. As a matter of fact, I've worked for this company for about 3 years, and I've never even met them. Okay, I go into the house, I give them $250, I clean it up. I cash app them, and they pay like this. Those are the people you don't want to cut ties with. These people always pay on time. I don't have to chase them. I cash app them one time, they pay me one time, and I love that. Okay, cutting ties with businesses that don't pay, don't be embarrassed. Man up. This is your money, this is your kids you're feeding, this is your family you're feeding, this is your electric bill that you're feeding, this is, you know, the car bill, the house payment, you know what I mean? Don't be embarrassed to cut ties with companies. Listen, a lot of people always call me and they send me pictures and hey, how much would you estimate of that? I don't want to lose that job. But they're always like, hey, I called the expert because I don't want to lose that job. I need, you know, I need to make these $5,000 on the big job. And then I tell them, hey, estimate 4,500, 5,500, whatever it is. And they're like, oh man, I missed the job I really need. No, you didn't really need it. Because see, a minute ago you didn't have the job. Now that you have the job, you really needed it. See, I walk away jobs from that, from jobs like that all the time. You know, I did an estimate the other day. It was $2,500, $2,500, and I'm telling you, this job was cake. It was going to take 2 trailer loads. I was going to be done in 2-3 hours. It was cake. $2,500. And this guy looks at me and he goes, you know, I got someone that can do it for $2,000. And I kind of looked at him and I was like, you know what? I can honestly do it for $2,000. I didn't tell him that, but I was thinking in my head, I can do that for $2,000. But I was like, man, you know what? $2,500 sounds better to me. And I told him, listen, let's meet halfway. You want me to pay $2,000. I want you to pay $2,500. Let's be fair and meet at $2,250. And you know what he said? He said, nah, you know what? No thanks. And I said, okay, no problem. I walked away. If he's not willing to pay you that much, honestly, this guy ain't a baller. He doesn't really have money. This is probably the last time you'll see this guy. So I walked away from that. I don't mind. You know what? About a week and a half later, I landed a big job that was $5,000, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? That's probably why I landed that job. I know sometimes when to walk away and when not to walk away. Guys, know when is a good time to overcome and walk away from people that don't pay you. These people do not want to pay you, and if they don't pay you, you need to know when to cut ties with people and just walk away. It's not that hard, I will tell you that, and just learn from seeing the experiences that I've had in the past. People will come around with other jobs even though you turn one way or you cut ties with a company. Just because you cut ties with one commercial company doesn't mean 2 or 3 aren't around the corner. Because I'm telling you guys, with COVID going on right now, a lot of people are going bankrupt and a lot of restaurants are closing. A lot of businesses are closing because of COVID, and guess who they're calling to do those jobs? Us. Don't get stuck with somebody that's not paying you when there's somebody right around the corner that desperately and really needs you. A real estate agent, a landlord, you know, people like this, small businesses that need you, families, you know, divorcees. I love divorces, by the way. Oh, they're the best. Divorces are the best. When you have to clean out their house, there's so many goodies, and the wife is so pissed at the husband for cheating. It's always cheating for some reason. Anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope that this video of cutting ties with other companies and other businesses is great for you. This is just a tip, because of course I'm on a train. It is a training tip. All right, guys, so I hope y'all enjoyed these videos, and don't forget, if you got any comments below, comment below. I can help y'all out with that. Answer most of the comments. I'll try to answer most of them. But if you like my videos, subscribe over there to the right side, and on the left side, check out my other videos. Tell your friends about it. I'd highly appreciate it. I will talk to y'all later. Goodbye and good evening.